All right, so just some kind of housekeeping that I want to talk about before we get into the actual updates with the app. And this may already be old information for you, but because I'm posting this, I want to make sure that anybody that's watching this back has the basic generalization of the app. But our app did update at the end of last year. It went through just a big facelift, just looks completely different than what it used to look like. Instead of your little applet on your phone, that look of it changed as well. So now that is a white app with a red KW on it. If you're having any issues with it, I need you to reach out to me directly so that way I can assist you one-on-one. It's a little hard in a group setting to be able to look at your phone and try to figure out what's going on, especially since this is all virtual. So if you have any specific questions about your app in general, we can talk about that on a one-on-one level. And then also one other thing that I still get questions about, and that's I've downloaded the app and I can't get into the app. So previously with our old app, you guys there was no like login for the agent. It just pulled up on its own. Well, now as an agent, there's no agent login. So if this is your first time opening up the app and you see a sign up or a login button, that's because you need to sign up. So I know it sounds silly. Well, I'm an agent. Why do I need to sign up? There's never going to be an agent sign in the app. It's only going to be for the consumer because it's a consumer app. It's for the consumer. So if you have not signed up, make sure you sign up. You can use your KW email. You can use your personal email, whatever you want to do. And then once you've done that, then you're inside the app. And at that point, just like any consumer that signs in on your app, you're able to track their activity through command. Okay. And we'll have a training on that again. I think I've actually already trained on that, and it should be on our YouTube channel, but I'll probably train on that again soon. So just a little bit of basic knowledge if you weren't already aware. I know we've kind of talked about this a lot since it first came out. They've updated it a lot. A lot has changed for the better. And again, it's always going to be evolving and getting better. So I know sometimes we can get super frustrated because we want it to work right now. And just know that they're working on it to make it the best it can be. But when you do have issues, I want you to let me know so that way I can take it to the next level of support. So don't just get frustrated. Let me know if you're having issues, and then I can help you guys at that time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Jay Cermak posted a really great video on this update. So I really wanted to share that with you guys today. It's just a 2-minute video, and then I want to talk about it, and then I want to open it up for questions to see what you guys think, and then just kind of see if this is something that you would like to do a one-on-one about. So let me go ahead and share my screen, make sure I have my audio. Okay. All right. And before, hold on, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, shoot. Deborah.
Yes.
Can you hear? Okay. I want to play this. I want you to tell me if you can hear this.
In this video, we're going to show you the brand new.
Can you hear that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure you guys could hear the video audio. Okay, I'm going to mute you back. Thank you. All right, this is just a 2-minute video, you guys, and then we'll get back into the training, okay?
Feature which allows you inside of the app and the website to actually schedule a virtual tour. So I'm here inside of my app looking at a property, and if I look into this, you're going to see in the lower left hand corner a schedule video tour. This is brand new and the feature to match us in the COVID-19 times. So what is your time availability? Now this is for the consumer to see when you, the agent, would be available. So I might select maybe today and see if you're available in the morning today. I might say how about tomorrow and see if you're available in the afternoon, and then maybe as a third choice Thursday in the evening. And the power of that is my ability to say, okay, here we go. Now, I love the fact that it says your health and safety are a top priority. Now, I have the option to do in person or live video, which is the default right now. So we can do that by Zoom, FaceTime, maybe even Google Duo, schedule video tour, and just like that, I am requesting it. And look at what happened. Kelly just alerted me that Jay had a video request for me to actually go in and to see the details there that I have an alert. So you're actually seeing Command tell you that they have a request, which is great. You also find the ability to do the scheduling on the website as well. So every one of the listings that you go to on your website will have an option to schedule a video tour right here, just like it did now. They would have to log in. I already have an account. So now I get to log in to this account and I'm going to request this schedule video tour, and it lets me choose it. Now this only works, by the way, if they're signed in. So as you see, if they haven't signed up for an account yet, you're going to encourage them to sign up on your website or app. They are the same product. And then just like you saw before on the app, they're able to do that on the website as well. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, you can follow me on KBIT Connect and YouTube today.
All right. Okay, guys. So after watching that, some things that I want to talk about that was just a quick video so that way you could see it. And I know I can't obviously train on every single little specific in that, but that's why I want you to be able to reach out to me. So this needs to be a conversation that you guys have with your clients. So you need to let them know, hey, I've got a brand new app, or if you already have my app, I actually have a section in there where you are able to schedule a virtual tour with me. So that conversation needs to be made, because they may, if they've had the app, they may not even know it's in there now. Or if it's somebody that's brand new, that should be the first thing you say, just that, you know, I know that we're not really doing a lot of in-person tours right now. And obviously I know we're changing week to week, but, you know, there is an option for you to schedule a virtual tour with me. So that conversation needs to be made. And then as far as you guys, if you are not familiar with the different ways that you are able to communicate with somebody virtually, that's why there's so many options in there. So if you don't like Zoom, you don't have to do Zoom. There's Google Hangouts, there is FaceTime, there's all these different options. But if you are needing help with all of those options, that's where I come into play. So if you need any help with, I don't know how to Zoom, or, you know, I need some help with my FaceTime, or I really want to try out Google Hangout, I'm the person you need to come reach out to, so that way I can help you figure out those different platforms that you have available. But it first goes back to you guys. You have to have that conversation with the consumers that have your app to say, hey, I've got a section in there where you can schedule a virtual tour. So that way they know it's in there. And again, just like Jay said, as far as the notifications, you have to make sure you have Kelly on your phone. I know that we've had, you know, just a little bit of frustration with Kelly, and I totally get it. But I feel like it has come a long way since it was first launched. That was one of the first things we got from, or that we, you know, that's something that was new from Keller Williams that was with Command, was Kelly, and it was a baby at that point. So I feel like it's definitely improved a lot since then, and the notifications have improved. So just make sure you've got Kelly on your phone. Kelly is up to date, and make sure you have your notifications turned on for Kelly. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, and let's just kind of open this up so we can kind of talk about it. If you have questions or concerns, or, you know, any other questions you have about the app, I want you guys to be able to, let's talk about this and kind of just go from there. Okay. And if you don't want to talk, you don't have to talk. And if you want to mute yourself back, you can mute yourself back. So does anybody have a question, or how are you guys feeling about that update?
Kara has a question.
Yeah, Kara.
So I have a new client, and she said she was looking around in the app that because I had put that information, you know, at the bottom of my email. And I looked in the on Command, and she is not showing up as a new contact.
Okay.
She said she did not claim me, and I have since set up a MLS search, so I think she's looking at that a lot as well. So is there a way that she could be looking on the app without having claimed me?
Yes, she can. So that's something that a lot of agents and me as well have been.
Well, that phone number, it just goes straight to not even a voicemail. Just says not available.
Sharon,
Mute her.
Okay. Sharon, make sure you mute yourself. I just muted you. So to answer your question, Kara, and I think I was in a training when we were able to meet in person, this was brought up again. Like the old app, they could use it, but if they were your client and you shared the app, it was immediately connected to you. There was no like, you got to go do this, and this, and then you're connected. So again, this is going to have to be a conversation you guys have with your clients, because right now there is not that immediate connection as far as whenever you share the app, is it for sure connected to you, Karen? They can't say that with 100% certainty that that's happening. So just like that happened, they were able to use the app and it wasn't even connected to you. So just making sure you have that conversation with your clients that, hey, here's my app. Make sure you set up your profile and make sure you claim me as your agent. And that way I know, what you're not necessarily, they don't need to know that you can see everything they do, even though you can. Just word it in a way that, I just want to be able to help you as you're, using the app, and just make sure you go in there, set up your profile and claim me as your agent.
so do you think that someone else that she's been assigned to someone else, or do you think she's just like an incognito user?
Yeah, not necessarily. So they can use the app. So they can't use the app until obviously they set up a profile. But until it's connected to an agent, they can just use it incognito.
Okay. I didn't realize that. I thought you had to claim someone before you could even use it. Okay. So next time I'm with her, I'll just say, let's go through this and I'll have you claim me now.
Yeah. Again, that's just a conversation, and hopefully, 6 months, a year from now, we won't have to do that. But for right now, that is going to have to be our best practices.
Okay.
As far as that. And somebody did raise their hand. Where's she at? Denise, what was your question? Denise? Okay, we'll come back to that. I thought she raised her hand. She had a question. What else, you guys? What are you thinking? Anybody? Trying to make sure I'm not missing any raised hands. Chandra, do you care if I call you out?
I'm sure. I did join a couple minutes late, so.
Oh, no, you're fine. I just know that you have been plugging into my trainings in person whenever we were kind of pushing this app out a lot. So what are your feelings on it now? And are you giving it to clients? Are they using it? How are you using it right now?
So it really was helpful when they would load the app and the first screen would pop up and it would GPS off of where they were at and show the houses in the area. Ever since it stopped doing that, just to be honest with you, I'm not real happy with it.
Okay. I know that's actually something they've talked about. And again, it's just going to be an update that we're waiting on. And what they have told me, though, is
their plans to then?
Do what?
Are there plans to put that back then? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But one thing they have said, because that's something that gets submitted quite frequently, and they always come back to us to say, is the phone turned, or have you turned on the setting in your phone, like, so for instance, your iPhone, to where you allow the app to know where you're at? So that's something they always come back to me and say, which I've said, well, mine is set up that way because I let all my apps know my location, and mine still isn't recognizing where I'm at. It recognizes if I pinpointed something yesterday, it's still pulling up that same map. So, but that's one thing that, we can check on, because they're saying that it should start working. They've been working on it, and it's not affecting everybody. It could be just affecting our region. I don't know, but that's something that I can check on again, Chandra, just to see where it is on the level of this is a high priority update, or this may take a while before we see this actually fixed for everybody. So,
Okay.
okay. Is anybody else using the app at a high level? I'm just curious to see how you feel it's performing for you, and if you're giving it to your consumers and what they think about it. Anybody?
I'm giving it to my consumers.
Uh-huh.
However, they keep going back to Zillow or Trulia because that's where they're sending me the links. They're not using my app, even though I've given it to them.
Okay. Have you asked or have they said why they keep going to Zillow?
I haven't actually asked them directly.
Okay. And you wouldn't necessarily have to ask them directly. Maybe Jeremy just kind of referenced this new update that, in my app now, there's a virtual tour scheduling section in there. So that way you're always in communication with me, and then you don't have to send me the link. If you're using my app, you can actually just schedule a tour through the app, and it goes directly to me. So you can kind of word it in that way. So that way you're not telling them, stop sending me Zillow links. So that's an option for you, Jeremy, that you could try out. Okay. Any other questions, you guys, before I'm going to kind of just talk about a little bit more about the app and just some basic things that I want to make sure that you guys know about. Anybody? Okay. One thing that, and Chandra, I actually directly asked our tech trainer about this because I know that in our last in-person training, I knew agents were frustrated with like the first page that pops up. So I'd asked about branding, and basically the answer I received was that whenever they were building this app, they labbed it out. And when they labbed it out, they gave different versions of, 4 or 5 different versions of like the home screen of the app and like the search style of the app. And based off of what they received, the reason they took the branding off was that the consumer preferred not completely branded on that home page versus, it having your entire branding on it. So she acted like they don't have any intentions of branding it. And this is just for everybody. So if you were really using your old app at a high level and you loved that your face was on it, your name was on that home page. I can't remember what else is on that home page, but I think it was just our logo, your face, your name, and maybe your phone number. I can't remember now, but for right now, they don't have any intentions of branding that, just because whenever they labbed it with consumers preferred the non-branded home search page. So that's an update I have on that. Okay.
I have a question, Alicia.
Yeah.
Kara.
Yes, Kara.
Okay, so I just opened my app, and I will say that it came up on the mapping, and I clicked current location, and it did show me active properties for sale.
Okay.
So
Good.
just as an FYI.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, though, and I'm going to turn on my camera and show this to you, is that the prices don't show all the way. Has anyone mentioned that?
So like it's cutting off the price? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
That I had noticed that when I used it before. That was just something interesting, I thought.
Okay, and that's something that we can definitely, and those are the kind of things that I can send in, you guys. And I don't know if I've got quite a few people on here that I don't usually see on here. So we've kind of got a new process as far as like when you guys tell me something is not working, it's not like I have to go into command and submit a ticket anymore. I have another level of support that just kind of bypasses like, a room full of people that are doing ticket requests. That's not who I send our support tickets to anymore. So now I have a different level of where they send it straight to the engineer and then they start working on it. So that has definitely changed for our region. So when you have any issues, and it doesn't have to be app related, any command issue, I need to know I need to know as soon as it starts happening. And then I'll kind of just dive into you with the process of me logging into your account. I have to video what's happening, and then I give it to the engineer, and they kind of take it over. So I'm really excited about that. So again, if you have, just like that, Karen, that's something that I can send into them, and they can look at it, or at least give us an update that they know this is an issue, or they're wanting to change it or fix it. So stuff like that is stuff that I definitely want you guys to send to me.
Great, thank you.
Somebody
Hey,
raised.
can you also mute everyone and just unmute when someone talks, or let them unmute?
That's what I was about to
There's a
do.
lot of feedback. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have a question, there should be a button to raise your hand. So if you, Terry Tacker. Okay. Terry, what's your question?
I noticed Gary asked the same thing. I've been behind due to a back injury, so I'm catching up. What is the app? Because I've still just got my original KW app on my iPhone.
Okay. So your app should have updated. So,
so it would be on the same icon?
Yeah, it's going to be the same icon. Now the icon's going to look different. So the old icon was a red app with a white KW on it. Yes. Now it's a white app with a red KW on it.
I noticed that. Okay,
yeah. So
good.
when you pull up the app, though, if you haven't been in it, it's going to pop up to a sign up or log in box.
Yes, I used it yesterday, so I was glad to see it today.
Okay, good. So yeah, once you're in there, again, you're signing up as if you're a consumer, even though you are the agent. There's never going to be an agent login. That's just so that way you can see what the clients see, and that way you can share your app as the agent. So once you have signed up, that means you're logged in. You'll have to go claim yourself as you, basically, and then you're able to share the app as yourself. Okay.
Yes.
I thought I saw another raised hand. Let me go back here. Gary Vance, did you have a question? Where's Gary? Oh, here he is. Gary, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just curious about the app because I've been in the same app, and anyway, I didn't know. I want to provide something to the clients, and since they got rid of the old app, I haven't found whether or not is this working now? Is that I realize I'm 15 minutes late to the meeting, but
no, you're fine. I completely understand where you're coming from, especially like with the mapping issues we're having. We just want to I know I try to be as positive as I can about it, but then I also see your guys' frustration too, compared to what we had. The old app just never really had issues. It was just there and it worked for us. With this one, they're giving us all these new options, and with multiple options come multiple problems as they're trying to work through all these issues. So all I can recommend, guys, is just know that it's probably not going to work 100% all the time, or you may not like the way it works compared to how it used to work. Just try to be positive about it. Just know that it's going to be better 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now. Even I can't even imagine what it's going to look like in a year, but just know that right now we're just still kind of in that, unsure phase. And if you don't feel comfortable giving it to everybody, don't give it to everybody. Give it to the people that you feel comfortable. This isn't going to ruin the transaction. I wouldn't give it to somebody that you don't have a good relationship with them, and this is a product of you. I wouldn't give it to that type of person if it's going to affect the transaction, obviously. So if you don't feel comfortable enough with how it's performing right now, give it to the people that you do feel comfortable with, and just tell them, this is a brand new app. We're really excited about it. However, there's going to be a little glitches here and there. But if you do see something, I would love for the feedback, so that way I can send it up to my support. So that's really the best answer I can give for you right now. Excuse me. But trust me when I say I definitely feel your frustration, because I'm frustrated every day with command. So let's see, did I see a hand? If you have a question, make sure you click the raise hand icon. There's a lot of you on here, so I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay. I'm going to check the chat to see. Okay. So Gary, one of Gary's questions was, and this is a good question, Gary, because the name of the app did change. What is the name of the app name? Like, so if you go to the App Store. So if I were to go to the App Store, I'm going to give you the actual name of what this app is under. So that way, if you don't know if you have it, you can definitely check that off there. Okay, so if you go to the App Store, this is the actual name that's in the App Store, and it's KW: buy and sell real estate is the actual name, and then it's the subtitle is just search homes to buy and sell. So that name did change. It's not Keller Williams Realty anymore. Now it's buy and sell real estate. So thank you for that question, Gary. And also just know that I think most of us have smartphones, and our smartphones really update apps on their own. But if you don't know if your apps are updating, definitely check every now and then, to see if your app needs to be updated, because the app is constantly updating. That means, if you missed an update, your phone may not, or your app may not be working like mine. So definitely make sure your app is always up to date, because they probably update the app at least once or twice a month. So that's a lot for something to be updated that frequently. So definitely just keep an eye to make sure that your app is staying up to date. And that way you're not missing out on the fixes and bug fixes that they do put out for us, okay? Any other questions or comments? You guys, if you don't have the audio capability, you can type in the chat as well. Check the chat. Okay, do I need to download another app from the original one I have? If you had the app before, you're not going to have to go get a new app. That should just update on its own. But if you're unsure, I did meet with somebody and he had so many apps on his phone, we could not find the app. I even tried to help him and we could not find it. We had no idea where it was. So if you're unsure, you can always go to the App Store, search for the app, and then it'll just say update or downloads. That way you'll know if you have it or not. Okay, any other questions before we wrap this up, you guys, or comments, concerns? No. All right, just in closing again, so today's update was that scheduling the virtual tour inside the app. I've checked it, it does work. So that's something else you guys can do if you're not comfortable giving it to those certain type of clients. Obviously don't. But what I've been doing is I've set myself up as an agent and as a client, and I'll do stuff back and forth so that way I can see how it's coming through. And if I reply back, what does that look like? So definitely, test that out with yourself and play with it. So again, having that conversation with the client, hey, I know we're not doing a lot of in-person tours, but I do have this scheduling virtually option in my app. Do you want to know more about it, or let me know if you have any questions about it? So just make sure you have that conversation with them, let them know it's there. And I think it's going to be really helpful during this uncertain time we're in. So this was being recorded. I know there wasn't a lot of phone time on here, but that's why I just pulled up Jay's, and you guys can pause it, play it back. So yeah, we're just going to wrap it up here and end it. And if you have any questions or you want to do a one-on-one with me, just reach out. We can get that scheduled. All right. Okay. Bye, you guys.